Straight Talk Uncut. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of STU. This is Tellis, and this is a Saturday randomness. My tires feel low. I'm in my truck. My truck is what I use for hauling stuff. If I see some furniture or something on Craigslist that I want to go get, I pull out the truck, the old 03 Avalanche. My vintage, soon to be vintage vehicle. This is the vehicle I got. There was like a defining moment when I bought this vehicle. It was off the showroom floor, brand spanking new, and it was kind of a time in my life where everything was just seemed to be syncing up. Everything that you know when you drink the Kool-Aid, it was kind of like falling in place. But anyway, so today, Saturday, is just going to be a random day. I'm just going to give you guys some updates on what to expect for the week. I'm going to continue on. I know I've been late. I've been late on the days I've been posting the videos, and I'm just working out some technical stuff. I had to buy some SD cards because I was just, when you're using the phone, using your smartphone, I was running out of memory, even though I had a 32 gig hard drive. But you know how you get paranoid by about deleting, and also my Google Drive is getting full. I had a 115 gigabyte. I think I got that like on a promotion or something. I can't remember how I got 115 gigs. Either I bought something and it came with extra, but I got 115 gigs somehow. And I'm at like 100 gigs, right? So what I've been researching is like these other, like either upgrading to more storage on Google or Amazon Drive or something like that. But it's just, you get so many different opinions. It's hard to know what to trust. I know I tried something a while ago, but come to find out, there's a difference between cloud storage and backup storage. And I think it was Carbonite or something. I can't remember what it was, but the problem I was having was I was thinking along the lines of cloud storage, but it was in actuality a backup platform. So your files, you can't just go and access them like on Dropbox or Google Drive. They're like, they have to go through encryption and all this other stuff. So I didn't like that. I want something to where all of my hard drives at home can be backed up to cloud. Not backed up, but accessible, where I can access them. And I guess I would need, a backup, some sort of backup plan also. But right now, I just use Google Drive. I do have OneDrive and all of that, but I never use them. I'm just so used to using Google Drive since all my phones. And I'm just so used to using Google products. But at home I have like 5 or 6, 2, 3, 4 terabyte hard drives, like Western Digital hard drives. And it's just getting too cumbersome. Because I was thinking today, when I was going back and looking at some old videos of my daughters learning how to ride bikes, all that stuff, man. Like learning how to ride bikes, going to swimming lessons, just when they were little tiny things, and you forget, man. It's like, and I keep backing those up to different drives. I want something that I can just pay for and it's there. But eventually, you're gonna always need more storage if you're not going through and deleting stuff, or you're just gonna always need more storage. So I know there's a lot of different ones. Some I never heard of, and I mean that's why I guess I just stick to Google Drive and maybe Amazon Drive. I may try that, just depending on the prices. So that's what I was working on this morning, and that's why, as of this recording, maybe when I post this Friday video will be up. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Why would I post this before Fridays? But so as of now, Friday's video is not up because I uploaded the way I shoot, right? So now I'm shooting on my phone on this LG V10, and when I'm done, I send the video to Google Drive. That way I can get home and it's there, and I just edit it and whatever. But what was happening was, like now, there was a 1 gig video from yesterday, because I shot in two sessions yesterday, and one of them ended up being 1 gig, and I don't even know how that happened. I was shooting on my Note 5, so I think I was in Ultra HD or something, but it ended up being a 1 gig file. And although I can see it on Google Drive, every time I click to try to download it or something, it says Google is still processing. Or we're still processing this file. So I can't do anything with it. And that was like early this morning, man, because I got up early this morning. Well, actually I started last night. And I couldn't wait for it, because by the way, I got another audiobook deal, and I was messing around with that, trying to get everything set up for that. And I was just like, oh man, I was just so frustrated waiting on this file to upload. Then so I bought some SD cards, a 128 gig SD card. The one I'm shooting on now is 32 gigs. 32, I mean, you think that's enough, right? But it kept cutting out, saying I was running out of space, so I don't know, man. But it comes, you won't know until you start doing it. You won't know what you need, you won't figure out a process until you start doing it, which also goes back to audiobooks. So I got my 4th audiobook deal, and it was from an audition I did yesterday. I went there. I had 2 planned. I had 2 that I didn't finish from the previous day, and I was like, you know what? I got about an hour. Let me find about 5 to 6 more to do, short ones. And I actually got this tip from a guy online, another VO artist that he's been doing it probably 4 years. He's been doing it longer than I have, and he seems to. I mean, he's making pretty much a full-time income from it, like a low figure full-time income from it. And what he was saying was, and I was doing this a little bit, but what he was saying was go for the shorter books. And I started out doing that, staying under 3 hours, 3-hour books. And that way you can get to my number is 50, because once you get to 50, then you're what's called Audible certified. Because they figure, if you get to 50 books, published and everything, Audible, you will get this little Audible certification, meaning people who are looking for a narrator, when they see that Audible certified, they don't have to worry about the quality. They can get that out of their mind, and now it comes down to, does this voice fit? So that's my goal. That's my short-term goal, to get to 50, so I can just get that out of the way. And that just comes from repetition. Like every day doing some sort of, even if I don't have an audition, I'm down there with my own demos that I'm working on. And so that made me refocus back to sticking to my initial plan, which were nonfiction, under 3 hours. I don't, if they're royalty share, okay, if they're royalty share and they're not high selling, it has to be content that I want to read. So even if I don't ever get paid for it, it has to be something that I'm interested in, something that I'd be proud to read and proud to share, right? And then as far as paying, like the paying gig, I don't care if it's something, it's something, right? In its practice, but it still has to be something that I would want to read and I would want to share. I started out reading one yesterday, and it sounded like something I would want to read, but once I got into it, I was like, I'm not liking the flow of this. And when you start doing them on a daily basis, you can read the first sentence and know if you're going to like the flow or not. And it's amazing, man, how you can start in something not having a clue. Something, I mean, not like a regular job, but just something you may have thought about, but you never thought you could do, or you never really understood what goes on into it. And then once you get into it, it doesn't take a long time. If you're doing it on a daily basis, it doesn't take a long time for you to figure it out. You'll be surprised at what you can, all the resources. Like anytime there's a word I can't pronounce or I never heard of, I just pause the recording, go to YouTube, how to pronounce, bam. I'm going and I'm back in it. Nothing to it, man. And I can't even imagine how the narrators did it before YouTube. I mean, it's just such a easy thing. Almost anything like that. There's a resource to learn how to do anything, man. There was a feature in my software that I know it can do. I just didn't know how to do it in Reaper. I just went on YouTube. Hey, how to sync or how to move your markers in regions when you're doing a cut on the timeline. A dude came up with it. I came up with the video, and the dude showed it like within the first 30 seconds to a minute of his video. So, man, you can't let not knowing something hold you back. You just got to get in there and do it, man. That's something I'm always talking to my daughters about. Like, I'm always, sharing with them, like, hey. And they get tired. Like, my daughter yesterday, she just got so frustrated at me because I was just preaching. She's like, Dad, why you getting so, like, excited by explaining this? I'm like, because I want you to know, man. And she was like, she was getting annoyed by it. So I was like, all right, okay, I guess I've hit her over the head. And it was just, just a learning thing, just a learning moment. But, so Saturday is going to be kind of like a mishmash of different things. And right now I'm about to run into this Home Depot, and I'll check in with you guys later. So another issue you're going to have to deal with if you're thinking about starting a YouTube video or a YouTube channel with your smartphone is, how's that battery life on your phone? I just went through 2 batteries this short video, and they were full. I mean, I know at least one of the batteries are new because I purchased some new batteries. And I mean, maybe they were trash when I bought them because they are third-party batteries. But yeah, so that's one of the things. One of the things you have to deal with. You have to figure it out. Get it like an extended battery or something like that, which I've been looking at. I just don't know if I get the extended battery, will this little mount, this little handle that I have still fit? I don't think it will, because this thing is like, it's barely on there. It's designed to go wide, like taller, but not thicker. So yeah, so you have to figure out what works for you. But so another thing I do on Saturday is what I'm getting ready to go back to do is I'm going to fire up that heat press and get some seasonal designs out of the way. There's about three or four shows that we have every year in Illinois. We used to have a few here, but the time and effort just wasn't worth it because we weren't doing arts and craft shows enough. We used to do them pretty much every weekend, but as the family grew, and as like, it's funny how some can be working and you can see potential in something, but then it starts to go downhill. There was a few shows we did to where they started having all these new fees and these new rules, and of course, as those shows grow and they make more money, they're going to have to get bigger venues but charge more, a larger booth fee. And if your product, comparatively speaking, is like a low dollar point, a low sale point, you're gonna have to sell a lot of product to make that booth space back and make some money. So and also we've always done shows without having any kind of trailer. I've used my truck and whatever SUV we have. So so that's why we normally do like 1 or 2 shows. And actually, we it's my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law do the 3 or 4 shows in Illinois, and since they don't get that many shows there, they buy. It's like a little small town, so they buy. Unlike the show we used to do in Denver, huge show, but people, people are pickier, and people have a lot more options, so they don't buy as much. Now we never lost money, but for the amount of profit we made, it got to a point to where the hassle to drive to Denver, and especially when it's like a 3-day show, because think about it, it's a 3-day show. You're going to either commute back and forth, and with kids that has school and stuff like that, you're going to have to either commute back and forth, and we've done it both ways. We've done it to where either my wife or I commute back and forth while one stay up there, because the shows normally start early in the morning. And normally it's my wife that stays up there, because I'm usually the setup and breakdown guy. It's been a while since I actually, the last time I actually sat at a booth was when I was selling my own art. But now my wife, if my wife is involved, she does the selling, and I do the setting up and breaking down, the manual labor. So, but now we have it worked out to where my mother-in-law, because she's retired, she does the shows in Illinois, and she's coming here to visit for my daughter's graduation. And so I'm going to get a bunch of stuff ready so she can take back with her, so we won't have to ship it. So Saturday, Sunday, we normally get stuff like that out of the way. And also there's some stuff, some designs I want to do just for the channel. Just to put something on some overstock shirts I had, and get rid of some of those, and just to show the kind of vinyl work I can do. So you got to have your hand in more than one pot, man, until you figure out what's going to work. So between the little side gigs I get, which I got another one starting out on the 23rd, it's going to go to, I think, March. It's going to be a little side gig that's going to go, a little independent IC gig that's going to go to March. Man, I'm looking at this. Remember when I was telling you guys about driving? I'm looking at this minivan. I have no idea what their problem is, man, but they are just trying to run everybody off the road. Yeah, when you look on the road and you see who's driving crazy, a lot of time it's minivans. What is up with these soccer moms in these minivans? And she's pretty much just trying to push this guy off the road. And it's anyway. She just did it to me too, and I was just like, all right, bye, see ya. The traffic, you can't go anywhere. Like, where you gonna go? So yeah. So between the audiobooks, my little T-shirt / accessories, and I'm always having some kind of side gig. That's how I keep hustling until something, until I touch on something. And the way it's looking, man, this VO stuff, doing the audiobooks, I'm building momentum, but I know not to start counting it too quickly, because I know there's always some foolishness somewhere. But my biggest thing, the reason why I got out of real estate, is there's just too much foolishness that you can't control. Governments and the state and local stuff. Like right before I got up, I think what was the final straw, right before I got out of real estate for the second time, I got an email saying all these contracts changed. Like these I'm like, okay, so that means when something changed, it's not just like, okay, change. It's now you have to take a class on it to certify that you acknowledge the changes, that you seen the changes. Then it's going to be a part of your continuing education. And it's like you can never. You're not supposed to get comfortable anyway. But some stuff, man, it's like when there's too many things out of your control. I mean, and that's just me. That's just my opinion. That's just me. There's people that deal with stuff like that all the time, and I know there's going to be stuff with business that's like that. But at least it's something I can live with. Like whether, like, matter of fact, on as far as shipping, there was something that happened in Canada to where, and I get a lot of sales from Canada. There was something that happened in Canada to where we had to hold off shipping from Canada for a while. So you get stuff like that happen. If some place somewhere goes on a strike, that's going to affect you. The government is in this, what is it, like government downtime, stop or whatever. That's going to affect stuff, just depending on what industry. But some stuff, man, it's like, it's almost like when I was in the Air Force, when they kept having these big old deals about uniforms. They were changing uniforms. And matter of fact, I think I think Freakonomics did a thing about uniforms, about like the military put all this money into this uniform and they never used it or something like that. I saw this stuff all the time. When I was we went through regulations about patches, because in Space Command you wear the flight suit, the little one-piece jumper suit. There was regulation about patches. There was regulations about uniforms, about jackets, all this stuff. Like, it's like, man, what does that have to do with me doing my job? And matter of fact, the base I was at went through a name change, overnight. I mean, if it was publicized or if it was like a big deal about it, a lot of people didn't know about it, because I would still have people call from other bases, and we had to tell them, yeah, the base name change, a military installation name change. and I know stuff like that changes happen, but it's like, man, come on, like, what does that have to do with anything? And so along with that comes letterhead changes, the way you answer the phone changes, the way you send email it's a lot of stuff changes, man. Can you imagine? Like what if the name of your street change? Your address. The government says, okay, you no longer live on Main Street. You now live on West Main, or you now live on not Main Street. And now all your bills are jacked, because they're mailing them to Main Street. Main Street don't exist anymore as it relates to your address. So I'm rambling. All right, I'll check in with you guys later. Getting ready to fire this thing up. That's the I can't remember the name of it. The Fusion something. Stalls Fusion. Getting ready to fire that up, like I was telling you guys earlier. But so the documentary for Documentary Thursday next week, it got me wanting to change the way I eat. Man, if you want to watch it, it's called What the Health. It's a documentary about food, and it's one of those ones where it's gonna gross you out. But if I wasn't interested in the first place, I think this was just something that took me over the edge. As to not totally, because listen, no matter what you eat, whether you're vegan, whatever, there's something not good for you in it. Pesticide. That's just my thoughts. I don't think there's anything immune from bad stuff being in it. Whether it's the meat, whether it's the chickens, eggs, the grains, whatever. But you have to pick your poison. And for me, just based off this documentary, there's some changes I'm gonna make
What are you recording?
about this documentary that I'm watching. Never. Oh, by the way, so this one of my shirts I did for my daughter. What's the character?
Jushimatsu.
Whatever. Juicy who? Juicy fruit.
No, Jushimatsu.
So there was just one, just a little, whatever. So anyway, just wanted to check in with you guys. Those are these are the box of shirts that I gotta get at. And but yeah, what the health. So stay tuned for on Thursday for that documentary review. And I'm going to my plans is I want to put some clips into the episode. I don't know how legal it is. I think if you're doing like a review or something, if it's for the purposes of doing a review, you can do that. So, but between now and Thursday, it's Saturday today. Between now and Thursday, you guys should check it out. Check out the documentary, What the Health. So yeah, the family wanted to go to the this ice cream shop. It was like father-daughter day at this little local ice cream shop. And what's funny is when we were there was this sign about opening one. And my wife was like, you want to open the name of it is Rita's. She was like, you want to open a Rita's? And I was like, I talked about that last time we were here. But I'm always looking for opportunities like that. I've had a few ideas because a lot of times when I watch like these cooking shows, like specifically the one I was watching last night, we always, at the end of the night, we try to watch an episode. And I think I mentioned it before. Normally it's like a competition show. Like we've been watching Cupcake Wars. I think that's what it's called. We've watched like some of those fitness ones like Ultimate Beastmaster. And we may start watching that one that The Rock has. I think it's called Titans or Spartans or something like that. And on Cupcake Wars, a lot of times it's like a family business type thing, and that's one of my dreams, man, is to have a business that me, my wife, and my daughters can operate. And there's several ones we thought about. There's several ones we actually even looked up on, like, I can't remember the website. There's a website where you can look up franchises and things like that. Not like a McDonald's or not anything big, but just like a small, pretty much startup. And there's been a few. A lot of them are catered around like beverages. Like there's one called Milky Cow or Swirly Cow, and it's like a frozen yogurt type place. And then there's a custard shop. The one we just came from is called Rita's. Is a custard shop. And there's a few of them around Colorado Springs, and you probably have something similar where you are. But out where I live now, it used to be the Sticks. It's not the Sticks anymore. But there's been a lot of opportunity to start like businesses, so you won't have to drive all the way in town. And I've had many ideas of doing something like that, man. But it's just it takes like a dedication from everybody. And sometimes, with my kids, it's like you don't want to, because one thing I know, there's a Chinese restaurant, and you guys know how Chinese restaurants are. I don't even think the kids have a choice. I think they have to work in the restaurant. There's a kid that was going to school with my daughter, and I would see him with his, go straight from school, walk into the restaurant, throw down his backpack, everything, and start working. And I remember back home in high school, there was this family that ran the one of the motels, one of the hourly rate motels. There was a family, and the kids went to the high school, and he absolutely hated working there, but I remember him saying that it's not his choice. He has to work there. So I don't want it to be that type thing. I want them to want to. I want them to be motivated to want to do that. to, you know, run their own business and something like that. But I don't know, man. It may be something I explore because I've talked about it. I've always tried to, you know, have my own business or side hustle or something. I've always known, even these gigs that I have, they're 1099. You know, even though I'm working for a company, it's always it may be a what you call it, like a pipe dream or whatever. But I don't know. Sometimes I just have these ideas of wanting to have a family ran business, and so my kids can at least experience, you know, running their business and working as. So yeah, I just wanted to end Saturday out with that, and just to let you guys know, stay tuned for this coming week. Sunday is going to be more randomness. Eventually, when I get subscribers, I'm gonna keep mentioning this. When I get subscribers, Saturday and Sunday is going to be like Q&A type thing, you know. So whatever. Until I get to that point, Saturday and Sunday is just going to be random. I may have like Saturday and Sunday a Q&A, then Sunday is going to be like a giveaway type day, or, you know, I want to have a day to where it's just about giving back to the subscribers or something like that. I just want to have one day a week that's like that. Just like, I don't know. That's how I have it in my mind. Like, okay, it's giveaway Saturday. I mean, a giveaway Sunday or something like that. And then Saturday is like a Q&A, ask me anything type thing. Preferably live, so I can just do it live and then sit down for an hour or something like that, you know, at whatever time of the day, and just do it like that. But until then, I may still do Q&As when I start getting questions and stuff. I may just do like a recorded session of Q&As. So, but that's it. I'm wrapping Saturday up, man, because they ran into the store. I told them I sit out here so I can shoot this quick video, and you know, we heading back home. So that's it. For the few viewers I have, thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching. For the few subscribers I have, thank you so much for subscribing. Stay tuned. It's going to get better. I'm going to start, you know, let me know what kind of stuff you guys want to see. As you can't tell by now, I'm open for anything. I mean, it has to be something I'm interested in, but I sort of have next week plans. I know kind of what I'm going to talk about next week. It's just a matter of getting my system down to where I can get these things up on time. So that's it, man. Like I always say, I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I talk straight about. Oh, by the way, goodfunshirts.com. Don't forget goodfunshirts.com. Like I always say, I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I talk straight about. Thank you for watching Straight Talk Uncut. And until next time, talk to you in the next episode.